Do you think that sometimes a story can teach more than an entire series of philosophical books? This can only happen with Zen stories. Most religions use stories to convey their messages of wisdom, but none so well as Zen Buddhism, a tradition famous for using short stories to help Buddhist monks to develop a deeper understanding of life. In this video, we bring you one such Zen Buddhist story that has the power to change your life because of its deep and invaluable spiritual insights. We bring you a very simple Zen story. It's very easy to understand but carries a deep message. Listen to this story and unlock its message to live the most happy, peaceful life possible by never comparing yourself or your journey to anybody else's. This story talks about the famous Buddhist monk Hiroshi, who was on a quest for peace and tranquility, but was getting disturbed by how well his fellow students were meditating. Meditation is for going inwards and not focusing outwards like Hiroshi was doing. But thankfully, Hiroshi had the wise Abbot to turn to for guidance. What this wise Buddhist monk advised Hiroshi changed his life completely and set him on a journey of transformation that was uniquely his. So, let's listen to this beautiful, life-changing story. Focus on yourself, not others. This story takes place in an isolated Buddhist monastery many centuries back. Hiroshi was studying to be a Buddhist monk in this monastery. Every day, all the students would get up early in the morning and begin their day by meditating. Hiroshi would do the same. He would be sitting with his back ramrod straight and eyes closed, pretending to be meditating. He could sit like this for hours, and anyone watching him would think that he was really acing the job. But this was just an outward show. Inside Hiroshi, there was no meditation. Inside him was a competition. He was constantly comparing himself to his fellows. He would open his eyes stealthily and gaze at his friends, thinking that they were masters of meditation, and he was the best fake at it. He was being eaten alive by frustration that he was not progressing as fast as he wanted to. This was Hiroshi's truth, and he lived this truth for as long as he could. One day, no longer able to carry on, he decided to do something about it. He went to meet the Abbot, a wise monk who had spent decades meditating and practicing mindfulness, or the quality of being in the moment. Hiroshi went and bowed before the Abbot and told him his troubles while meditating. The Abbot was a truly evolved soul. He understood Hiroshi's issues and said soothingly to him to not upbraid himself, but rather to forgive himself. Instead of telling him what to do in so many words, the Abbot told him this profound story. He said, "There was an old dense garden that not many people knew of. There was a wide variety of flowers in this forest. Some of them were big, bold, and bright, and others small, white, and insignificant looking. But each had its very own unique beauty and fragrance. The flowers were so happy and confident in themselves that they all lived each day of their lives completely. They never felt the need to compete with any other flower. They never wished to be like another. They simply bloomed each day, making the forest more beautiful with each passing day." The Abbot then stopped talking and, looking deeply into Hiroshi's eyes, he said, "Like the different flowers in that forest, each individual is unique and is beautiful. Just like the forest needs all flowers, big or small, red or white, to be vibrant, life needs all of us to be livable. Your journey is your personal one," the Abbot added, and warmly embraced Hiroshi. Hiroshi understood what he had to do: nurture his own inner garden rather than comparing his garden with others and letting it go to the dogs. Hiroshi went back to his quarters a changed man. After that, others noticed a calm serenity on Hiroshi's face. He was not worrying about others anymore and was living each day with mindfulness and letting his spiritual journey unfold at its own pace. And then one day, Satori, the deepest meditative state, happened to Hiroshi. One day, sitting quietly with his eyes closed with no expectation or jealousy, Hiroshi got an immense sense of tranquility wash over him. He was now an evolved master, an enlightened being. The message of today's Zen story is that one has to embrace oneself, love oneself, and be grateful for being oneself before reaching anywhere on one's spiritual journey. Only then does a person become a petal in the flower of life. This is what happened to Hiroshi. Once he let go of the comparison and focused on his uniqueness and path, he became an enlightened master.